Hey teens, Mix Christy here, and I come with you with another book review because who doesn't love that? Okay, so technically I read three books since the last time, but one of the books was the third one in a series, and I don't think you guys really want to know what happens in the third and final one of one. The other one wasn't that great, so I don't really feel like reviewing it. Um, I could let you know what it is if you want, and you guys can figure it out on your own if you guys enjoy it. And the other one is by the same author that did The Fountains of Silence. And rather than me gushing about another great book that she wrote, I didn't think you guys wanted that. So I chose another graphic novel to book review about. So this graphic novel is called oh my god, I just dropped it. Go with the Flow. You guys can probably imagine what it's about. It's about periods, menstrues, monthlies, the menstrual cycle, things that many females get, and even transgender men. Unfortunately, sucks. It sucks. But this book is great. I actually met the authors at C2E2, and they are amazing. And what they write about in here is just phenomenal. Um, so I know many of you guys are like, who wants to read a book about periods? Sorry, I don't know why I went like a Southern California girl right there. I'm so sorry. But it's fantastic. I would recommend anyone reading this. Um, Parents, grandparents, kids, boys, pretty much anyone who wants to learn about this. It's a great informational story, but it also has a bit of feminism in it. So it's about these four girls, great friends, who discover that in their school bathroom, they do not fill up the pads, like the pad dispensers in there. Not to mention, it costs 50 cents. Who carries cents around with them? And of course, I hope that some people that do have their periods do carry extras. I do not. I probably should. But they bring up a good point. I mean, how are these high schoolers, some who might not have jobs, some who don't even, maybe their parents can't really afford too much, how can they pay for, sanitary pads or tampons and stuff like that? So it's actually pretty much Abby, who is the redhead right here, who's trying to fight for that in her school. And these are her friends, Brittany, Christine, and Sasha. Um, they're just trying to survive through high school because who doesn't just want to survive those 4 years? Trust me, I've been there. But she really wants to. No, not Christine. I'm sorry, this is Christine. She's my spirit animal. I loved her. I loved her. Um, Abby pretty much wants the school to actually listen to her, so she takes some extreme measures throughout this book, but it's great. The art is phenomenal, not to mention it's in red and white, because it's about periods. So of course, red is going to be the main color throughout this book. But this is also done by First Second, so I don't know if you guys ever read any of their graphic novels from First Second, the company. Pretty much all their stuff is amazing, and I absolutely love anything that comes out of First Second. So I would recommend anything from them, anyways. But this is so good. It's very powerful. It talks about the different types of periods. Brittany actually has very, very painful periods, and it goes through how she kind of deals with it and how it's actually really, really scary because she doesn't know what's wrong with her. Does she have endometriosis? I totally pronounced that wrong, but it's a scare that many people have whenever they're on their period. So it kind of talks about different types that are out there, how it's affecting her school life and her social life and things like that. It's scary. Not to mention, it also talks about how there's such a stigma against talking about periods and the menstrual cycle. Like, this shouldn't be a stigma. This is a thing that happens. People should be willing to talk about it. It even has a really, really great bit when Sasha first gets her own, and like her mother asks her, and there's like the mother doesn't even talk to her about it. I actually had a very similar experience with my own mother, and I felt like, you know, technically, since I am non-binary, but at the time I was still the first female. I was like the first female, for my mom. So, I kind of felt like, you know, I should have had that talk to, but I didn't. So I kind of traveled this world without anything because, you're taught. Some are taught at a young age that you shouldn't talk about this stuff, but kind of need to. You need to talk about it. And this book kind of encourages that. So I can't recommend this book enough. I think we technically have it in the J section, because so many young people are starting to get it at like a younger age. But it is set in high school. I still recommend it for anyone, whether you currently do have it, whether you don't have it, whether you're never gonna get it, whether you're past that. I still recommend this book. It is so great, and I love it. Like, yeah, it's so great. I know it's scary big, but it's still great. I love all the panels. Like I said, I love the artwork. I love the story. Christine is my favorite. Christine's my favorite character, but I do love them all. Um, each has their own little side story that's happening throughout this. So, probably once the library opens, definitely check this out. Like I said, I know we have it. I processed it. So please, 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 please check out this book. I know that Miss Rachel really wants to talk about this in her on her lunch brunch, but she's also scared that it's going to be turned down. Tell her to do this book. It does not matter. Start a revolution. Make this thing go. And I did not mean to make this political, but it's such a great book. I cannot. So, but that is the end of my book review. I probably have another one. I did actually download the Downstairs Girl. Yay, I finally found it. It is on ebook, so I'll probably do that one next as soon as I finish up reading it. But anyways, that is the end of my book review. Make sure to throw in a like, subscribe it, and make sure you subscribe to the Frankfurt Public Library, to get more book reviews. And I know that a couple of the other librarians are doing, story time and little rhyming for everyone else. And make sure you check us out on Facebook as well, because there's a lot of different things happening there. I know I did a ton of book reviews. I also started doing crafts, so I did one about mini top hats and I did one about cherry blossoms. Both are a little bit lengthy and long, but they're a lot of fun if you have extra crafts laying around at home. So yeah, please check us out. Let us know what you think in the comments. And again, I will see you all in the next chapter. Bye!